sleep when the sun goes down.
Stop it! What are you doing?
What do you mean? She's putting sugar in her tea.
Did you pay your tax?
Tax? Since when? Since when is there a tax?
Since April 5th, 1764. Obviously. Let's go. Give it up.
Who are you?
I am the legendary George Grenville. Don't you know by now? You two young ladies will be paying your fines very soon. I will have a document written up. Farewell!
The goal of the act was to raise revenue to help defray the military costs of protecting the American colonies at a time when Great Britain's economy was saddled with huge nation debt accumulated during the French and Indian War, aka the 7 Years' War.
Was created by George Grenville in 1765. List of items that were affected by the Stamp Act were legal documents, ship papers, wills, licenses, newspapers, and pamphlets. The passage of the Stamp Act in British Parliament can be considered a complete failure. After its introduction of the British revenues from colonies actually diminished, colonial businesses refused to import the goods from Britain, reducing the overall volume of trade and the base of collecting other taxes. The violations of the law in the colonies were so widespread that even courts would not enforce the use of stamps on legal documents.
Show off your healthy, attractive legs.
Oh, that sounds great.
Not surgical treatment?
What are you ladies doing?
Reading the newspaper.
Did you pay your tax for the Stamp
Yeah,
Act?
I have my receipt right here.
You're lucky I don't have my reading glasses. Okay, you're okay. Okay, Britain. What about you, ma'am?
What tax?
The Stamp Act tax.
Stamp Act tax?
Yes, don't you know?
Who are you?
I'm still George Grenville. Remember, yesterday? Give it up.
But I was reading that.
And I don't care.
Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?
Who comes?
What are you playing?
My piano, of course.
What chords?
F minor and D sharp. Thank you for asking.
Okay, I don't care. Yeah, you're not allowed to play this musical instrument.
Why is that? Who are you?
I'm the Parliament, and I'm allowed to make any law anytime I want to, and right now, you're not allowed to play a musical instrument.
But this right here is my baby.
I don't care, you have to pay tax in order to play it.
But it's my baby.
You have to pay your tax.
Is there anything I can do?
Pay your tax.
In 1776, the Stamp Act was repealed. Were the problems finally resolved? You could imagine a better world, a life free of unreasonable laws for the colonies, but no. The problems were just starting. The British Parliament passed a declaratory act, and this made it impossible for any colonial assembly to pass any binding law. The declaratory act only made it clear that there were more acts where it came from, and that future acts would be no better than the ones they had.
On the evening of March 5th, 1770, Private Hugh White was on guard in front of the Customs House on King Street in Boston. A crowd of people had gathered and began harassing the soldier. His calls for help brought 9 soldiers led by Captain Thomas Preston. The crowd continued to harass the soldiers with insults and were throwing snowballs at them. In the commotion, someone yelled, "Fire!" and soldiers began shooting. 3 townspeople were killed and 8 more were wounded, 2 of which died later. No one knew who gave the order to fire. After the shooting, the people of Boston were demanding the soldiers to be tried and executed for the shootings. The governor ordered Captain Preston and 8 soldiers to be put in prison pending a trial. As a result of the trial, Captain Preston and 6 soldiers were set free. 2 of the soldiers were found guilty of manslaughter. They were branded as convicts and then released.
Due to the Boston Tea Party, the British East India Company officially had a monopoly on the tea imports. This heavily impacted the colonial boycotts. They were near to bankruptcy. 17 million pounds of tea were in the warehouse, and the British decided to finally step up and help.